If you're a solopreneur, coach, or online business owner trying to figure out how to actually use AI in your business right now, chances are you're making at least one of those 5 mistakes that I'm about to share with you. I've made some of them myself, and now I see them all the time when I work with clients who are service providers, coaches, or online business owners. And those aren't really small mistakes. This is the kind of mistakes that keep you just spinning your wheels and wondering, why aren't you making more progress? Why aren't you actually getting the value from the AI tools that everyone keeps talking about? So today we're going to break down the 5 biggest mistakes when it comes to AI that I see solopreneurs are making and what to do instead. So if you've been feeling behind or overwhelmed with all the AI tools out there, this will reset the way you think about AI for your business completely, and you can actually start seeing some results. So mistake number 1 is wanting to use AI to scale a business model that you don't actually like. This one is just so sad to see, because usually people who are serving their clients and really building an intentional business, really love what they're doing, these are the people that end up there. Let's say you have one-on-one clients, or you have some group trainings or group programs, and you're pretty maxed out. You could often find yourself like being really overwhelmed because you have such a huge workload this month and then less workload next month. So the mistake here is that when I talk to these people, and the first thing they ask me about AI is, can AI help me generate leads? How can AI help me to generate more leads? And the thing here is that the mistake is that they're trying to use AI to scale the business model that is already burning them out. If your current setup has you tied up to your laptop for 8 hours a day, or just working in one-on-one sessions, and the reason why you started your business was to build a freedom-based, more flexible business, right? Getting more clients is not going to get you there. Getting more clients, even if AI can help you, getting more clients won't be the fix. So what you can do instead is actually take a pause, look at your business and ask yourself, what do I actually want this business to feel like? And ultimately, AI can help you towards any goal that you have, but you just need to make sure that's the right goal, right? That's the right direction you want your business to go. So for example, what you can do instead is thinking, okay, what could be other things that I can introduce in my business, right? And where AI can help. So for example, if you really love public speaking, you can use AI to research events that you can speak at, build pitch decks, and help you refine and create your signature keynote, and help you determine the price that you should charge, right? And you can turn that into a totally new income stream where you could actually enjoy what you're doing, diversify your income stream with this new one, which is still in line of your work, which still gives you exposure. And this can enable more consistent clients coming in, right? In a way that you're also in control, like when do you want to take them on? Another way that you can think about it is that you can use AI to build a custom GPT that you can pre-train on your frameworks, on everything that you as a coach has accumulated, like all your knowledge. And then you can offer that to your existing clients and perhaps outsource some parts of the work to these GPTs. So let's take an example. If you are, let's say you're a nutrition coach, you can pre-train it on the best practices, on like scientific literature, on your own framework. So you can upload everything in the knowledge base of a custom GPT, and then you can just easily, when the time comes and this client needs a new monthly meal plan, for example, then you reduce the time of giving them this value. I think this one is really underused, because there is plenty of opportunity to turn some of your knowledge into a custom GPT that can keep serving your clients while you don't have to exchange your direct time to fulfill this task. And the third way to think about it is, can you package your expertise and your knowledge into digital product where AI can help you outline the curriculum? Either it's like a mini course, a master class, it can help you write launch emails. Just remember that AI is incredible in amplifying your effort, right? Regardless what effort it is and what goal it is you're working towards. But if you are aiming at the wrong target, you'll just get to the target, but you'll burn out on the way, right? And we don't want that. So just make sure that when you start exploring actively, like what can AI do for my business, that you think about it from the perspective of the business model that you do want to have, and from the business of how you want your business to feel, and build from that. Okay, so mistake number 2 is trying to automate something in your business before you actually have a clear process or an idea how this process should work. I think many people are trying to automate chaos, honestly. I think the processes are either non-existent or they're super chaotic. That's not really a process, but you're trying to automate that, trying to plug in tools into their business before they've actually defined what their process looks like. So let's take an example, client onboarding. Let's say your client onboarding looks very different every time, right? So you send emails manually, you gave your client some access links, some additional resources, some access to communities, maybe you collect testimonials in the end, but you're also doing it manually, right? And then you see a fancy automation tutorial and you're like, perfect, this sounds great, I want to do this. Except it doesn't really work and it breaks because there is no process that makes sense in your business right now. So what you do instead, and it's a really good exercise, you take a piece of paper and you write down every step that happens when someone becomes a client. And what do you send? When do you send it? Is it always the same? What changes? Why this changes? What determines that it's different? And you'll probably notice that approximately 80% of it is quite consistent across all your clients. And let's say 20% stands out. It's like a Pareto principle. And that could be the starting point for your first automation or your automation roadmap. Everything that you automate, it's not only has to look from the perspective of efficiency, but it also, you still have to feel like this is your business. This reflects how you want to serve your clients. This reflects how you want to communicate with your clients. So if you apply an automation that just replaces every human touch point, then it is unlikely that this is going to be continuous serving and building trust with your clients if that's important to you. And if you have a vision, if you have a process in front of you, first of all, you can already see where it's inefficient, right? And second of all, you can see, okay, how do I turn this setup that I feel is more efficient and I automate that while I still maintain this human touch points wherever I want them. And this becomes a kind of a personalized automation to you. You're not just using something that works for someone else's business. So once you see your process clearly, you see what you can improve, then the second question comes like, how can I do it, right? What tools should I use, or who can help me with that? But that only comes after you have the understanding of what and how you actually want to automate it. So mistake number 3 is ignoring the 2 out of 3 rule. And I'm so guilty of it, and it's still like an active effort to not make this mistake every single day. So what does it mean? So before you start any new kind of project where you want to use AI, you want to automate a process, or just check out the tool, you have to run it by this quick filter. So basically you have to ask yourself 3 questions and you need to get yes to at least 2 of them. The first question is, am I genuinely excited to try this out? Is there something that the curiosity just bubbles in me and I can't wait to try it out? That's number 1. So the second question is, will this save me some time? And the third question is, will this save me some money? So if you only check one box, you have to skip it. So for example, like myself, I probably 80% start running with excitement and curiosity because I'm just super excited to try it. And to be fair, I am in the AI space, right? So trying it out, it's my job. If I just only go by this and not think how is it going to save me time, or how is it going to make me money, I'm just going to end up playing with the tools non-stop. There is new updates to all the tools happening every single minute. And if I would just to follow my curiosity and test them and play with all of them, I will not have a business, I will not make any money, and I would just be drowning in this, right? So basically, every time now that I'm approaching any new tool, I ask this: is it only driven by my curiosity and excitement? That just might be a shiny object, right? So I have to have the answer to the other two questions. At least one should be a yes. So if I'm super excited about it and it has potential to bring some new revenue, then it's a yes, and I will go ahead and try it. The mistake that I see a lot of people are making also within this is that if you just go for things that only saving your time, right? Then it's like it will bring you quite low energy. You lose your momentum because there's nothing new coming in and there's no excitement. If you just follow something that will make you money, you will burn out sooner or later. And if you're just following the excitement alone and the curiosity, then it's just like shiny object in most cases. The 2 of 3 rule basically helps you to find that sweet spot. So it keeps your experiments, like things that you're trying out, quite intentional, and it also protects you from getting really overwhelmed. So if it doesn't pass the 2 of 3 rule, just park that. It's probably not worth your energy right now. And mistake number 4 is outsourcing tasks to AI without intention. So what I mean that even if everything can be amplified with AI and can be automated, it doesn't mean it should be. When trust, relationships, community is your product, too much automation can kill that product and can kill your business and can kill your personal brand. Because basically, if you're over automating, if you're over delegating things to AI, you lose like the human core of your business that you've built. So I'll give you an example. I recently talked to a potential client who wanted to clone her own voice and her own image and start running her social media with digital avatars, like using all this video generation, image generation models. A lot of people are doing that right now. A lot of people in her space were doing that. She is a coach within a personal development space, which means that human connection and sort of relation to each other and how we work with our mindset, we really need to have this personal touch points, right? Because without that, there is no trust in the brand, in the coach, in the person who is providing the service. So what we decided to look at instead is that if social media takes a lot of time, what does actually take a lot of time is writing the captions, it's writing the hooks, it's writing all those things. And that you can beautifully and in a way that still comes from you and from your voice, there are ways to set it up in your LLM of choice that solves this problem. You don't risk to lose the trust and connection to the people who follow you just by introducing your digital clone and with your cloned voice, and that will save you some time. This is my personal opinion here, but I truly think right now that the digital clones, digital voice cloning, all of those things, yes, they can save some time and they can be really good for certain use cases, but when it comes to building your personal brand, building trust, or building community around what you do, what value you provide, I think this is more of a risk taking that can ultimately damage your business if you lean too much into that, right? So think about if you came across avatar accounts on Instagram, for example, what was your perception? Did you buy something from them? It doesn't create any connection, any emotion with me. I can spot it right away. And I think some people will argue and some people will say that they will become so much better, it will be indistinguishable. Fine, that might be true, but you are still a smart human being that needs to understand that long term, that is not a sustainable strategy. Again, if you are in the space of actually serving and providing value to people, this might not be the use case you want to pursue. You do not want to automate yourself out of your business. You don't want to automate and replace yourself in your business and potentially just lose this trust that you built with your clients already or with your audience already. You can automate and use AI in different ways to still solve the problem that you have. It just doesn't have to be that big shiny object that everyone else is doing. So be mindful of what you choose to keep human in your business and what you choose to automate. It has to happen intentionally if you want to have a sustainable, long-term, authentic business. You can repurpose your content. For example, for this client, she has a podcast, so she can easily repurpose her content which also solves her problem that social media takes a lot of her time. By repurposing content with AI, you can solve that problem as well. You make sure to keep human, your client relationship, client calls. I would even go so far and say personalize emails yourself and not use AI for that, because AI can personalize email, right? You can create this automation where it will collect information about your potential client, summarize it all, and write an email that will be very personalized. And you can experiment with that, but don't just like strive after that level of automation without really needing to. Like if everyone else is doing that, it doesn't mean that you have to. So keep human what is important to you, anything with nuance, anything that creates connection, that creates a community, that has a relationship in it. And then you can approach certain things from a hybrid perspective as well. Like for example, you can use AI that is pre-trained on your voice, on your brand, to draft messages and templates, and you still personalize them before sending. So the question to ask here is, where does my human energy create more value for my audience, for my customers, for my projects? And then protect that. Protect that at all costs and automate the rest. And mistake number 5, and I'm not the one to talk here because I'm like willingly walking into this mistake every single day, is keeping up with all the new AI tools out there. So if you're trying to stay on top of every single new AI tool, update, launch, it's just absolutely not sustainable. Even if you stay updated, you will never be able to get into the depth of it to actually understand if it's a useful use of your time or not. So here is the cycle that I see quite a lot of people end up in. It's the new tool release, then there's a huge FOMO, I need to try it, then it's confusion and that you're feeling behind, and then you start panicking and being overwhelmed, and it's really not a good cycle, it's not a productive cycle. So you absolutely don't need to know every single tool or follow every single tutorial of every new tool. You instead need to understand what is the next process or opportunity in my business that I want to see what I can do with AI. So make sure to solve the problems that you actually have in your business, or to identify opportunities. Identify either a process or a challenge in your business that is worth solving. Ask yourself those 2 questions. Am I curious about it? And is it like brings me excitement? Will it make me money, or will it save me time? And then answer those. It has to be at least 2 yeses for you to go ahead. Then you can think, how can I solve it? Which tool can solve it? All the information is available there. Find a tool that can help you solve this problem. Then master that one, then you can move on. And after a while, you can evaluate, does it still serve you? And then you can make actions from that. If you're interested in joining a community of other solopreneurs, online business owners who are learning how to leverage AI for their businesses, make sure to check out my school membership, link in the description below, because that's where we discuss those things, humans to humans. How can we leverage it? How can we stay authentic? What are the tools that we're using? It's a really great space to ask questions and get feedback on your specific challenges. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure to check out the link below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to make a video on this for a long time because I just keep seeing the same things over and over again. Please let me know in the comment if that resonated, if you've made those mistakes, because I totally did, and I see a lot of people are doing so. We are all in this together, and I think we are exploring and navigating this together. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.